Okay, so in this lesson, what we're going to do is we're going to take our full pentatonic scale and we're going to break it up into two sections. So we're going from one big, massive scale to two separate scales. They're actually two one-octave scales of the A minor. So let me bring the camera down and I'll explain what I'm talking about. All right, so here is our full box pattern here. By the way, as you get comfortable with this, do like I did there. You can not first go all down, but you want to start getting used to going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. You go back down, start with down again. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, so that's one thing you can do. So now let's break this scale up into two sections. So we're going to break it up into the lower three strings and the upper three strings. So we can start right here. And remember in the last lesson we talked about your root. Here's your root. You can go over 2 frets and down 2 frets, and there's another root. That's what the lower section does. We start in the lower root and go up to the higher root. Just like this. Just go up the scale. And that's it. We went root to root. So that's the lower 3 strings. Now we go over to here, and we're going to start in this note. What we're really doing is we're starting on the 3rd tone of A, and say in an A minor chord. But we'll talk about that a little bit more later on. Don't worry about that too much right now. We'll talk about it a little bit later. So then what you do is, that's what you do. This is a C. Go up to the next C. So what our root is right here though. This is what's called a chord tone. Again, we'll talk about that later, but playing this over the chord is going to fit perfectly fine, as you'll see in a few minutes. But that's what we're going to do is we're going to improvise with that bit, but we're going to make sure we come back to that root a lot too, because that's our focal center. So yeah, let's work on that a little bit. So I'm going to play that backing track, and what you want to do is again start with just going from root to root. So here's the lower part. Root, then back down. That's all you got to do. Just kind of get used to that, playing that nice and even. And then when you're ready, what you want to do is you just want to play around in there and just try to create some melodies. Now as we go along, I'm going to show you some techniques to make this a little bit more easier, but right now just kind of get your fingers used to moving around within there and stopping every once in a while. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. There you go. Don't have to do anything fancy. Later on, you'll be able to add in some cool little licks and stuff. But right now, you want to keep it nice and simple, so you really hear each tone. And as you notice, I'll play a little bit. Stop a note, let it ring out a bit. Let a note ring out. May repeat some stuff. You resolve it. You know, that's our root again. So it's basically just playing around and letting certain notes ring out and kind of using your ear to match up. So there's that. And then we're going to do the same exact thing in the upper section. So here's the upper section. Start by going through it. I like to go back to the root and then stay on that though. You can't get that even. Feel comfortable with that? Then start playing. And that's really it. So that's all you want to do at this point is just do that. Break the scale up into 2 different sections. Take a section, focus on that for a bit, you know, play around, make sure you're stopping on notes. Don't just randomly just go up and down. Yeah, don't do that. You want to make sure that you're actually moving around. And also another thing, don't do this. Try not to randomly jump around. It doesn't make any sense. If you're on this note, try to go down to the next note in the scale or up to the next note in the scale. Keep it all linear, right in order. Don't just do random jumps. Just doesn't make any sense. Later on, we'll learn arpeggios where you'll be able to cross strings, but that's using what's called chord tones. So just make sure, whatever note you're on, say this note, either go up to that note or down to the next note in the scale. And really, that's it. That's all you got to really worry about. Again, it's all about getting familiar with the scale right now. And we're going to refine it even more and really focus in on smaller little areas. And we're going to help you out with getting to that point where you'll be able to create some good phrases. Okay, so that's it for this one. Work on that, and when you're ready, we'll see you in the next lesson.